Gotta lay it out here. I got these two chicks, man. They're my niece. They're my television nieces. You know, I dig them, man. They play harmonica real cool, man. So I'm gonna do a song with them. They're playing in major. I'm playing in minor. Yeah. I'm gonna do it one more time, man. Let me put it on pause. Okay, now we're back. I got these my water wells down in Kenya, man. Song, Hey, come on now, stepping fast. Yeah, they introduce you. I got to show you them. There they are. There's Sarah, man. And she can wail, man. Dig her, man. She'll wail. You're gonna see. I'm gonna play a little bit with her. But man, she can get into the spirit. Look at her winking. She's winking right at you, man. Dig this, she's saying. Hey. Put water wells down in Kenya, Africa, man. Change the deserts into the Garden of Eden. Yeah. Once again, we're going to raise up the Garden of Eden. Yeah, we're stepping fast, putting water wells down in the ground, bringing the water up and flow all over, change the desert into the Garden of Eden. God's going to show a great miracle. Yeah, he's going to use us too. Yeah, he's going to send all the millionaires down there to dig water wells. They dig it and put their name on it. They're going to get into heaven. Yeah. If they believe, they'll get into heaven. If they go down there and put a water well in, it shows they believe. They believe. Yeah. Come on, millionaires. Get on down to Kenya. Change the desert into a Garden of Eden. Change the deserts into gardens. Change the deserts. 900 feet down, there's water, man. More water. More water. More water. Pure, crystal clear water. John 7, verses 37, 39. From their hearts shall pour streams of living water. So come on, millionaires. Come down there with your heart. Put a water well in. Get into heaven. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Hear the prophecy, man. Hear the prophecy. Put water wells in Kenya. Change the deserts into gardens. I've seen it, man. They've already started in some sections. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. I'm not that good looking, but I do it a pinch, right? You know, I had a daydream the other day. God says, "Hey, Billy, how would you like to be an uncle grandpa in heaven?" In other words, this is the way you look in heaven. You can be a grandpa in heaven. You want to be a grandpa? I said, I'd love to be a grandpa in heaven. All them aborted babies, you know, like, oh, I love them all. All those babies eaten by crocodiles and everything. I'd like to be a grandpa, yeah. That's what I'm trying to be now on earth. Trying to be Uncle Grandpa. Trying to fix. I'm from Africa. I'm an African. Don't believe it or not, I'm a white black man. I'm Sicilian. I come from North Africa. I got dark black in me all over. You know, you can just take a look at me. You know, I got it all over me. I'm black. I'm black and I'm Arab Muslim. And my mother's side was Jewish. And I was born a cradle Catholic. And the Chinese say, do you have Chinese in you? You look like you got Chinese in you, too. I said, I don't know. Some days when the sun shines right, I look like I got yellow skin. And my eyes are squinty. You know, I can see through them, you know, like this, you know. Like, oh, yeah, my eyes are squintier than Chinese people's eyes. I'm squintier than a Chinaman. Well, anyways, I'm a prophet to the Chinese, too. I got Chinese in my videos. They're dancing the step, man. Put water wells in Kenya. Turn the deserts into gardens of Eden. Fruit and prosper. I've seen it in sections already. They're doing it. They brought the water up. Jim Donaldson went down there. Put water wells in, put boreholes down in there, put some sunlight, you know, solar energy and stuff. Put towers up so they can water the fields. It's turning it into a Garden of Eden. Let's think if all the millionaires went down there and every one that they put in, a water well they put in, they get into heaven, man. Their name's on it. What did you do? What did you do on there? I put a water well in the desert and made God's prophecy come true that the desert will turn into a Garden of Eden again. If they bring up the water, the flow, it's in the Bible. John 7, verses 37 to 39. From their hearts shall flow streams of living water. So all you millionaires, you got a heart? Go down to Kenya. Put a water well in. That will be God's heart. Your heart flowing for God. How's God going to deny you if you did that for God? How's he going to turn his head from that? Oh, all you millionaires, God gave you. Have you given 2 cents? Have you been to church? Have you done anything? Well, confess your sin, receive the body and blood, and live a holy life from now on. And you got the kingdom of God forever. God will love you forever. He'll make your enemies love you. If you love him and are obedient to him, obey him. He wants a child that obeys. If you disobey, go out to the tree and pull off an inch branch and bring it in here because you're going to get a whipping. And God says the same thing to us. Take them laws off the books. Get rid of the perverts. Put them back in the closet. If they want to leave, let them leave. They can come back if they want to change their minds. Well, we don't want perversion in the United States of America anymore. It's corrupting our children. They're growing up to our disgrace in a lot of situations. I can name hundreds of them. And if your children grow up perverted, a genocide will set in. You don't want to go through a genocide in the United States. Genocide is horrible. The down in Rwanda, I think it was. There was a professor down there, and she told about it. She had a television program. She says my best friend came to my house and killed my mother and father and my brother. I wasn't there, but he killed them. My best friend. And that's the way it gets, because Satan comes in. He takes and gets rid of all the people who are moral. He either cuts their heads off, sticks them in jail, or kicks them out of the country. Then he puts his people in there, and they change the laws. And then it's sheep to the slaughter, because them laws, that's all they do is murder. Like abortion. 65 million people in the United States aborted. Documented. What about undocumented abortions? God's furious, man. He created us so we could live on earth, and he can observe us. And we have a chance to love him, to find him and love him. But we're corrupting ourselves. We're going to the stars with all of our money. Why are we going to the stars? Put it in the jungles and all the other places and find out what's in there. There's medicines in there. There's things that make us prosper. There's minerals. There's all kinds of plants and animals we don't even know about on our own planet, and we're going to Mars. $71 billion last year, and the Mud Hut people on the river being eaten by crocodiles. Drinking that milk mud water and getting dysentery, diarrhea, dying. 100 cases a year being eaten by crocs. Yeah, the screaming of children and the screaming of their mothers and their family. Can't do nothing. Crocs got their boy or their girl fetching a bucket of water out of the middle of the river. It's a drought down there, so the river's down, so it's 10-year-old, 11-year-old, it's up to their waist, so they go out in the middle of the river because everybody's washing clothes and all that stuff on the riverbank. They're mud hut people. They live in the mud huts. They live out of that river, and everything, and his brother lives in that river. There's turds all over the top of that river. You got to brush them away before you get a bucket of water. They bring it home and drink it. It looks like milk. So they go to the river to get a glass of milk. Mud milk, it looks like. Yuck. I couldn't. Oh, my goodness. Even if you filter it, I wouldn't drink it. Oh. And we got water well, 900 feet down, pure, fresh, big, huge reservoir. Turn the whole desert into a garden. And we don't do nothing. We don't go down and get it. We let them drink that mud water. Maybe they'll die out, and then we put hotel buildings up and call down the public. There won't be any more diseases and all that, and we can let the crocs eat the herds as they cross the river. And certain times of the year, we can have specials on it, and we'll flood the hotels. They'll all be there with their binoculars looking down at the crocs eating a zebra or a gazelle or something, wounded or young or old or what. They are the colors. That's why it's against the law to kill them. If they get your child, all they think is they got themselves a monkey. And he tastes good. He's nice and bloody. And they scope you out, too. They watch your habits. So, he comes over the sun. Okay, the sun comes up over the peak over there. Okay, that's when he comes and gets his water. I'll be down there waiting for him tomorrow when he comes and gets his water. And I'll have supper. Yeah. And then his dad will get mad and he'll come after me in his rounded out log canoe with a wooden spear. And when he throws it at me, all it will do is bounce off. Then all I got to do is go over and tip over his canoe, and I've got dessert. Yeah. That's the way them crocs think, man. Just imagine it. What do they think? They've been here millions of years. They all survived them all, man. Those big crocs. They're the survivors of the prehistoric age, and they're still eating human beings. Well, I come up with a new one today. Another thought, a daydream. I don't know how true it would be or anything, but I think we're being farmed. I think we farm cows, right? I think we're being farmed by aliens. I think all they can drink is ape blood and eat ape meat. And they don't like hairy apes, they like pig skinned apes. 300, 400 pounds, lots of blood in them. They like to drink the blood. And that's what those aliens are out there, scoping us out. Do you know that there's 600,000 people missing a year, and they find half of them, but there's 300,000 they can't find. So you want to make a big dinner menu out of 300,000 human beings, their blood and their flesh, their organs. And there they are. They're like bees to honey. One bee comes, he finds, oh, look at this place. And he goes back, tells all the other bees, well, they're all over our East Coast, West Coast now, aren't they? Nobody knows who they are. You wake up in the middle of the night, and if you take a magnifying glass and look at your fingernails, you might see a number carved on your fingernail. You're going to be the 520th one in line. We're going to grab you. You're just the right size. We like them 300, 400 pounds, full of blood. Good eating, man, good eating. And they're skinny, scrawny, 10-foot people. Or not people, but things. What are they? They're a thing. They're not human. But they farm. Like we farm cows and chickens and turkeys and all that. They farm human beings. And there's 300,000 of us missing a year. There's 600 that are missing, but they find about half of everybody. There's all explanations, everything. But there's 300,000 people a year missing, and nobody knows where they went. I'd say that's an awful big dinner menu, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you think so? Huh. Well, anyways, I don't want to scare the daylights out of everybody, but that's a thought I had. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying. I had the thought. Who gave it to me? My imagination? I don't know. The id, the ego, and the super ego. Do you know about all that stuff? Freud and all them guys. He thought you can analyze yourself in 25 years. That if you could stay disciplined for 25 years, at the end of 25 years, you can analyze everything about yourself. If you were a psychologist or psychiatrist or something like that, you knew all what to look for and everything. They could analyze themselves. It would take them around 25 years to really get down to who they are. And who are we? That's a big question, huh? A lot of us are turning into narcissists. We don't want to be good, because there's good narcissists, and then there's psychopathic narcissists that don't give a crap about human beings. They go in there with eating a sandwich, looking at their watch. I got a street corner honey. I got to meet tonight in the bar. I got to pay a big bar bill. Bring 2 more abortions over here. I got to have the money, man. I mean, I'm not saying that it actually happened, but I'm saying that's their pressure. Their pressure. A lot of these guys, they don't give a crap 2 cents about human beings. They're killing them. They're murdering them every day. They don't care. All they want is the buck. And their needs fulfilled. That's the way it is in the world, man. If you're right and you go complain about it and you bring the cops in and the guy's a taxpayer, you're going to be wrong. You're going to end up arrested. So if they steal from you. I went through a music store. They stole $100 off me after I spent $6,000 there. The new management came in from, I don't know, New York or something. I don't know where they came from. But they were hoodwinking everybody out of $100 who dealt with cash and looked like they were stoned or anything, like that. They tried it with me and I caught them. And then they tried to steal my $800 amplifier. I told them to put it in the back of my truck because I was ticked off at them because the guy stole $100 from me. I had $300 set out on the counter, 50, 50, 50, 50, and 50, 50. And I counted out to him, and he says, how much? And he says, 300. How much more? I says, he goes, $68 more. I says, so I gave him $72 tip. And I said, oh, I forgot. I got to go get a tuner. So I turned around, and I had my wallet there, and I had a pile of money there with my wallet. And then I had the money to pay for this Caserio organ I was going to buy because I had some trade-in too. So I went and got the thing. I came back, and the guy's looking at me, and he's got tattoos all over his body. His fingernails are painted black. And he's looking at me, he says, you're $100 short. I said, what? I just counted it out to you. You're $100 short. You call me a liar? Those weren't 250s in the last pile you counted. They were 220s. And then I laughed at him because I'm a school teacher and I do math and everything, you know. And I says, well, then I wouldn't be $100 short. Only if you put 250s in your pocket, you would think 100. But if you took 220s out of my other pile and put it in place of the 250s you put in your pocket, I'd only be $60 short, dummy. How are you an assistant manager? Pay you minimum wage and give you a title, and then you crook everybody? Hoodwink them? That's thievery. And they have no conscience about it. Because you start saying, are you calling me a thief? Out loud. Everybody in the store had people in it, you know. I'm standing there looking around and everything. Yeah, you calling me a thief? I said, I'm calling you what you are. You're a hoodwinking crook. You stole from me. I spent $6,000 here. And I got to put up with you. You're new. You came in, you know. So he complains to his, you know, I says, okay. So I paid the $60 more because it's not like, oh, because those were 220s. That's $40. And it wasn't. He took 250s, put them in his pocket, and took 220s on my other pile, put them there and said, substitute them. Those aren't 250s. They were 220s. And then I look at him, yeah, there were 220s there. That isn't what I put there. That isn't what I counted out. I'm not stoned. You know, I know what I was doing. And he thought it was, though, because I got a beard and long hair and all. He thought it was, and I'm dealing with cash. He's thinking, I'm going to get me $100. Watch this. And they run that old freaking New York game on you. You're $100 short. Because the first guy was a DJ. And he had $1,200 piled up on the counter. He was buying a DJ outfit, you know. And he got paid cash. He did 3 deals a weekend. $100 an hour, a 4-hour minimum or maximum or minimum or something. And so he made $1,200 cash. I watched him count it out. The guy says, I don't have time to count that. I'll have to take it back to the counter. This is the other manager now. The manager that's chaining the manager that stole from me. So he gets it all in his arms, and he walks back there, and he counts it out, and he comes back, and he hands him a slip, and he says, you're $100 short. The guy goes, what? And he's looking for a pile of $100. You know? Because all of his piles were totaled $100. He had 12 piles. The guy comes back and says, you're $100 short. Here's the slip. And he hands him the slip. Guys, you know, he's looking around for a pile of $100, right? And so he says, okay, he paid it, and he picked his equipment, and he left. And I watched him. I thought, wow, man. I hope that, I don't know what to think. So an hour goes by. I've got my stuff together now. And I'm dealing with the assistant now. And he pulled his crap on me I just told you about. $100 short crap. In a different angle at it. You know, instead of taking it to the counter, he just said I was $100 short. He switched bills, saying those weren't 250s, those were 220s. Well, dummy, if there were 220s, I wouldn't be $100 short. I'd be $60 short, idiot. Man, where do these people come from? And they get assistant manager's job. They're musicians. And what happens is most of them are broke. A lot of musicians don't have any money at all. You know, especially if they're mediocre musicians. You know, they get wage on the weekend. I mean, they get the minimum, what is it?